Hello?
Hi, Hunter.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing fine. Lieutenant Embleton with Warren County. Got your message.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
So, I want to apologize for the other day. Kind of caught me at a really, really bad time.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm a flight instructor. I was on the flight line, and I was pushing an airplane back, and my mind wasn't in the right mind to talk at the time, so I apologize.
Oh, no
I
problem.
didn't mean to be disrespectful. If
No, no
you
problem.
felt disrespected, I apologize.
Oh, no, not at all.
So I just have a couple questions. I'm not sure if you're able to or willing to answer. I'm just curious if you have either spoken to her or him regarding the situation, I guess, is question number one.
So what I am doing is reviewing Clermont County's investigation.
Okay.
That's what's been asked of me. Not necessarily an independent investigation, so I'm reviewing it. But one of the things that stood out is you hadn't wanted to make a statement, so I wanted to make sure before so I reviewed their investigation, which they talked to a lot of people, and then it gets to the special prosecutor, which is David Fornshow with the Warren County Prosecutor's Office.
Okay.
And he makes a decision. So.
Okay. Are you able to answer questions on who was interviewed by chance? Because I may have some two really good people well, maybe even three people you may really be interested in interviewing if you haven't already.
Okay.
So
if you want to give me those names, yeah, I won't.
Have you interviewed? They interviewed Courtney, her coworker?
Okay.
Because where I'm at is
correct.
That'd be correct. Yes,
okay.
Sir. And so where I'm kind of at is these people have seen and or kind of had an idea as to what was going on, is what I've been told.
Okay.
By Allie. So I don't think that they are willing to, wouldn't think that they're going to be willing to have a misdemeanor for lying to enforcement about what they've seen or what they think was happening. You never know. People are not very intelligent these days. And then Angela would be Jesse's wife. I know that she knows everything that happened because he admitted everything to his family. And so, give you a little bit of my background. My father cheated on my mother when I was a young kid, and my mom didn't know for a long, long time. And so my sister reached out to Jesse's wife, Angela, to let her know, like, hey, I just want to let you know this happened, because she doesn't want to have his wife live for years not knowing, hey, this was happening, and you had no idea. She was never able to get in contact with Angela. However, my sister received a call from Angela's sister, which we believe is an older sister. She does not know the name, but she said if she needs to get the name, she's more than happy to get that for you. I don't know how many sisters she has. So if she just has one sister, then that would be her. If not, we can always get a name. But that sister called my sister. This would be Angela's sister called my sister and let her know, hey, I just want to let you know that Jesse admitted everything to Angela last night. She's aware of everything that happened. He admitted it to his wife, his kids, his father. He admitted it to everyone as to what happened. And that being said, no, this was like the day after it happened. The day after Allie told me what happened.
Okay.
And so she called Angela's sister called my sister and told her, hey, I just want to let you know, I understand you've been trying to reach out to my sister. I just want you to let you know that she does know, and we ask that you please don't contact her because she is aware and she's struggling to get through the day, is what she told my sister. She said, we know everything that has been going on. We know that your brother and his wife were married for less than 2 months before this happened. We know that he's a flight instructor. He's going to the airline soon. We know you both went to college at Ohio State. We know everything about it. Like, they know way more information about me than they should know. I'll leave that at that. So I think I could be wrong. I don't think that his sister is going to be willing to lie about that. Maybe it's some questions you might want to ask her. And then his wife is apparently, what I've been told, is that his wife is threatening to go to the news with text messages because she is unhappy that him and her are still working in the same building where things transpired.
Yeah.
And I will give you one situation, the one with Courtney. You may want to, if you do decide to speak with her or anybody that does. Allie told me that Courtney kind of saw him sneak out of her car a couple times because they would go to lunch together multiple times. Apparently she only told a detective she only went to lunch with him once, which is not the truth. I don't know if they're able to pull up video from the parking lot or not, but according to her, they did go to lunch multiple times. And they went to a park one time when she said that they were going to Chipotle, and Courtney saw them going the wrong direction. Didn't really interrogate her about it. She just kind of like, where were you guys going?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, there were no truths told there. So if you decide, hey, Courtney might be a good option to ask her, hey, is it true that you saw them in the car together multiple times, or did you actually see them not go the right way when they said they were going to Chipotle? These are some things Allie told me. And then lastly, there is Joe. So this, I do not know Joe's name. It's Kramig's assistant. And I will say Joe is having a very hard time at this time. I don't want to go into details about the issues he's currently having, but he apparently, from what Allie told me, is that he was kind of figuring out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he was taking some irregular lunch breaks, and he would constantly come into the Jesse's chamber, and while him and Allie were sitting there, he would come into the chamber and would constantly ask, say, hey, I need to go check these files, I need to go look at this, which is irregular from what he normally does. So he was catching on. He knew something was not right.
Who's Joe?
Joe, it was his bailiff.
Okay. All right. Now, do you supposedly have a recording? Are you wanting to give a statement? Sounds like you kind of changed your mind a little bit.
I have so I recorded our conversation is what I did. So we had a conversation, and it was basically like, hey, what are we going to do with our house? What are we going to do with their dogs? Like, where do we go from here? And there's multiple times in there that I would say his name, her name, what happened, where it happened, and she obviously went along with it because she knows that I know the truth because she told me. So I do have that, but I did delete it. I didn't delete it because it's evidence. The reason I deleted it was because I had spoken with her grandparents, and her father and her mother were both kind of worried for her because they're afraid that she's being recorded by me because I told them that I had those recordings. And so to make them, I feel guilty that they feel that way, that they don't think that she's safe because they think she's being recorded. So in front of Allie, I deleted the recording that I had, and I said, I'm going to delete this. I want you to know that I'm not recording our conversations any longer, and that I'm going to delete this so that you can trust me, so we can talk and get through things, because once she found out that, she was done talking to me about anything, and we weren't getting anywhere with anything. So it was asked of me by her grandparents to do that for her.
What about the recording where you kind of found out everything, where she was talking to like one of her friends?
She told me what happened.
And you heard something about a closet, and you played that for the court administrator when she showed up at the house.
Yeah, that was our conversation.
Oh, well, so there wasn't something where you weren't home.
I don't know where all of the craziness from that comes from. Like I told you, I did a recording of me and her talking about this is the day. This is like 2 days after I had found out what happened. Maybe not 2 days. Maybe it was the next day, actually. The next morning, we were sitting there talking the next morning about everything and what we're gonna do.
You said something about happening in a closet at the courthouse.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you have deleted that conversation. It doesn't exist anymore.
That is correct, and I did that because her grandparents asked me to, because her parents felt that she was not necessarily unsafe, because I would never do anything to hurt her physically. But they felt that her parents felt that she was unsafe here because of that reason.
Okay. Anything else you can think of that you want to tell me?
No, I mean, I feel like if you talk to those people are probably not going to be willing to lie to you about anything that's that they were told or that they saw, or I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Sure. Okay.
And I know that she's.
Well, I know.
Date where she's like almost ready to just kind of admit what has happened, because she told me that she wasn't honest with the judges about what happened because she doesn't want to lose her job.
This is Allie?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Trying to think if I have any other questions. So Courtney may have some information. Angela, Jesse's wife, may, and Joe the bailiff.
No, I feel like I don't know if Angela would be willing to talk, but I know her sister spoke with my sister.
Okay. Her sister spoke with your sister. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure where she would want to go with that, but yeah. I know that they did, and and honestly, I feel like if you sat Allie down and talked to her and asked her the hard questions, she'd tell you. She'd break. I've been in that situation before, unfortunately, and I know what happens. You're a detective, you know what happens. So
okay.
I don't know if you'd be able to get her to sit down without an attorney, but she did it already, and I guess she only asked her maybe 5 questions is what she told me, and that was it.
I mean, I'm not gonna answer that question. I know the answer to it, but
okay. Yeah, you don't need to answer. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, this will be for ultimately the prosecutor of Warren County to review and see if anything criminal occurred. Because that's what we are. We're criminal. We have not
criminal. I understand.
Or ethical violations or something that's outside the purview of a sheriff's office.
Yeah, and then I do have one question you may or may not be able to answer.
Okay.
I know that Allie said that Nagel submitted a report to the Supreme Court. Is there any way that you would be able to know if that happened or not, or any way that I could find out if that happened or not?
I've not heard that. I don't know.
Not heard that?
Yeah, I've not.
Because that's what I was told that he was doing, and that's his job. That's what he's supposed to do per because I sat, as you can imagine, I sat here for hours and looked up, hey, what is supposed to happen? Who's supposed to do what?
Sure.
And according to the Ohio State prosecutor's codes, that is exactly what's supposed to happen. If he had any idea of anything that happened, he's supposed to write a report and submit it to the Ohio Supreme Court, and that is supposed to be completed reviewed and have an answer within 90 days.
Yes. Well, I'd have to look at the rules, but if that's what you read, it could be true. But on our end, we're looking at the criminal aspect, whether anything criminally happened. That doesn't mean that something else didn't happen. But
I understand. You're just trying to figure out the criminal part. That's your job, and that's all that you are there for. I get it.
So
understood.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling and talking to me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I figured I needed to talk at some point, and it's I hate to keep talking about it. It's just something I have to keep reliving every day, unfortunately, every time I talk about it. So
I hate that.
It's just the easiest for me to not talk about it, and because if I can't do my job, it's not good. You can imagine. If I can't keep my mind free.
Are you guys trying to work through it, or?
I'm not really sure at this point. We've been we've been very civil to each other, talking and trying to be very civil about it. We're kind of talking through things, trying to figure out what's going to happen. That's kind of where we've been at. Actually, not yesterday, but the day before, we actually share the same birthday.
Oh.
And we terrible day, of course. Somebody posted. I'm sure you know who Chris Hicks is. Posted something on Facebook. So, there we go. There's another ruined birthday for me.
Chris Hicks.
Yeah, we're remaining civil. That's for sure. We're trying to talk through things again. I don't know what's going to happen. We have been together for a very long time, and I never imagined this would have happened, but
yeah,
here we are.
You mentioned the name Chris Hicks. Who is that?
So, isn't it? They call him Watchdog Hicks. He's on Facebook.
Okay.
He posts all kinds of political stuff, and he ended up posting a video of me doing my first solo many, many years ago, and put a bunch of information out there about me. And
like negative or good?
I don't think it was negative, no. I think he was just like, hey, Allie's telling her husband to stay quiet, and he's going to end up being the scapegoat for all this, and that's kind of where he's at. Because apparently he talks to a lot of people. He knows a lot of internal people. I guess they've been telling him the whole time that the narrative for me is that everyone thinks I'm crazy because I brought forward allegations about what happened, and if I don't make a statement, then I'm a coward, and just stuff like that. And I'm not freaking crazy. I'm just
different when
I just don't want to deal with it.
You're walking in the shoes, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not walking in your shoes, so.
Yeah, like I said, every time I have to think about it, talk about it, I just have to sit here and relive it.
Sure.
And it's not healthy mentally for me to sit here and continuously relive everything. So here I am.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. If you end up with any more information, it may or may not be useful, but feel free to give me a call and let me know.
Yeah.
All right.
As of right now, I don't think I have really anything. I just I do think it's a little. I don't know. It could just be me. I think it's very weird that he decided to go get a big name attorney if nothing happened. You know, that's wild to me. But
yeah,
heck, what do I know? You know. I know he's trying to cover his ass too, but it's like you hired the biggest cover-up attorney out there in this area, so that's kind of sketchy. But whatever. So yeah, right now I'm sorry I don't have any other information. That's kind of all I got for right now. Other than what she's talked to me about.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, and you've got my contact information if you need to get a hold of me.
Okay.
But I should be presenting something to the prosecutor fairly soon.
Okay. Any ideas of any time slot, maybe within this week, maybe next week, or?
It just depends on their caseload, how quickly they review it.
Yeah.
So.
Understood.
All right.
All right, sir. Well, you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye.